Hey guys, what's up? It's Rogie here with the third installment to our community podcast. Today we have our regular guests, including Schyler and Sean. So hey, say hey guys.
What's up?
Hello.
As well as Rogie from last podcast, and also Omar or Castle Wars from. Well, he's never been in one, so say hi.
Hello.
So pretty much today we're gonna be talking about kind of a little bit of what was in last month's updates, like Mad May and stuff like that, and the QBD, and then also the bigger stuff that is going to be happening this month, like the combat beta and also the Crucible. So, without further ado, let's start talking about that stuff in May. So, May Madness. What did you guys think of that extra spend that you got every month? Or every day, I mean.
Yeah, it was a crazy month.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. So the extra spin was pretty nice. It's always nice, obviously, because it gives you more chance to get XP lamps and stuff like that. Yeah, so that was cool. That's all I really remember from it being good.
There was like double runespan points, weren't there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the
On
first
each of
weekend.
the weekends, there was a new thing. I was
Yeah.
gonna
And
get
then those monkeys were so annoying.
the monkey items. Did everybody get a monkey item?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
like
those,
all
but
of them.
Oh jeez.
I was talking about those monkeys that they spawn in the free to play worlds.
Oh those monkeys, yeah.
Yeah. At least I didn't bring a U short bow like Sean did. I just brought my graphite one.
It was a
Key
bit disappointing. I was
stuff
expecting
actually
them to
quite
be a
cool.
lot better.
Yeah, the weekends were kind of disappointing. Especially well, we had the double loot, which is pretty good, I guess. I didn't really get to do anything because, as with most like mid-ranged levels, people really weren't too many bosses that weren't packed, so it's kind of hard
Yeah.
to get a world. But that and the I don't know. I kind of like the cosmetic rewards that they gave us this month. The monkey ones were pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Especially the mace, the monkey mace is like my favorite thing in the game now. I don't know why. Uh, anyway, as I was saying, what did everybody get from that actually, if you don't mind me asking?
From
The
From
monkey
the
items.
Yeah, the monkey items.
I
yeah, I
got
got all of them.
I got the mace, 2 of the hats, and like 4 barrels. But I did some
You
quests
get
that
more than
weekend.
one. I thought you could only get one.
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah, I did
I
quests,
never
so I
seem to
got
get
extra.
I never seem to get anything from the Squirrel of Fortune at all. I don't know why, but I never get any of the like special offers or anything like that. So I just
Have you not got any
I
of
logged
the
I got nothing on my noob, but I got like 3 of the items on my. Sorry, I got nothing on my main, but I logged on my noob and got like 3 of the items off the Squirrel on that. So
typical?
it's a bit sucky.
Oh, I actually got the curled horns also. I think that was the very beginning of the month.
Oh yeah, they did
I
that.
didn't
Oh,
get any
yeah,
of
yeah.
those either.
Wow. So, what did you end up getting, Omar?
So just 3 barrels, but I used up one because I didn't know that they were one-time use.
Oh yeah, I remember
Yeah,
seeing that.
that's what I did as well. I just used it. Oh, well.
Yeah, they kind of neglected to tell us what they did, so yeah, some people missed out on their chance of having a barrel of monkeys in their bank, which I guess isn't too bad if you think about it, but whatever.
I used my barrels, well, one of them, while waiting on the free-to-play monkeys to spawn, and everyone started freaking out.
The cannons in the members' worlds with the monkeys are just ridiculous. Everybody had like their cannon up, and all the monkeys would just like die the instant they spawn.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Did anybody actually get the medium lamp from those monkeys?
I
Yeah,
did
I got it.
I got
I did
one.
one of the days.
Mm.
Oh, I didn't realize they did it more than once. Oops.
I thought it was 3 days in a row they did it.
I thought
probably
it was
did.
I thought it was something like that, or you
Yeah,
get 3
but I only
lamps.
did one day
or
because I
something.
just gave up because it was just so annoying.
um, what else happened? I don't even remember the other weekends. I think
Oh,
we had the curled
yeah.
horns, the monkey mayhem or whatever. Then we had the other monkeys, and then yeah,
Runespan.
Double loot.
Runespan, yeah, too.
I think double loot was the only good one really.
I think
The
a
only
lot
thing
of
about that was the weekend before my last exams, so I couldn't really do anything.
I think a lot
Very
of
lame.
people were confused as to why they did the double runespan points like the week
Yeah.
after most people had already finished doing it. that was kind of a kick in the teeth by Jagex, but whatever. Especially for people that were trying to get their comp capes back, which I know you and Rogie were doing that, Omar.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, move on from that because that part of the month was pretty boring. That entire thing was kind of a letdown, except for the double loot and I like the monkey cosmetics,
Well,
like I said.
We got the necklaces also. That's pretty good. I haven't used mine yet.
Yeah, the necklace is all right, I guess, but it's not much to be said about that though. The next update of last month was bonfires. Well, the first update really, wasn't it? But what else is there to say about bonfires? I think we discussed that on the last podcast pretty well.
But you get the life points boost, so that's nice.
Yeah, that
It's just like fire making, where you just stand there. Besides that,
did.
and the EXP boost if you have like 5 people or whatever.
Yeah, I think we already discussed most of that. I know that I think Omar, didn't you make a video about that?
Probably, yeah.
About the HP boost thing? I think you went in the
Oh,
fight
yeah.
film and did like Constitution Crystal on top of the HP boost from the logs. Got like tons of HP.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with next armors, you could brew up to 2295 life points.
Oh jeez.
Holy crap.
Yeah. And yeah, just wait till the Crucible comes out with the gloves. But I guess we'll talk about that later on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So with the bonfires, I guess everybody got a lot of fire making done, and it seems with the wow. Well, you don't do much other than PVM and kill people, right? So
Well, no, but it's just because I thought 99 fire making is kind of, I don't know.
it's still
Oh.
kind of interesting to do just to try it out. But that's about it for the bonfires. Really, not much else to say about that. But something that we can talk.
It was quite. The only thing I'd say about it is, oh, sorry, am I lagging?
Oh, not really.
Okay, well, I was just gonna say, the thing about the bonfires was that it was quite different to how I thought it'd be. I thought it was gonna be like a big thing, like got bigger and bigger.
Oh
as you put
yeah,
more
yeah.
logs on it.
A lot of people
But
said
it was
that.
just like one fire, which I thought was a bit disappointing. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be something like the Haiti, the Skull Wolf or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a big fire there.
How you right.
Okay, so next thing that happened that month was the Song of the Depths quest, which is the pre-quest for QVD. I guess you have to have done that quest to do it, don't you?
No, you don't.
Oh,
But it
really?
gives a damage reduction, although I'm actually not sure how much. I heard it's a 10% damage reduction at QBD once you've done the quest, but I haven't had that confirmed.
Mm.
Well, I
it's
didn't
just
know.
worth doing.
I didn't know that you didn't have to do the quest to access QVD.
There's really no reason not to. It doesn't have any requirements. So.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy quest. I was kind of disappointed with the like puzzles and stuff in it, and I thought it was going to be a little bit harder than that. But I guess they did say it was going to be kind of like aimed towards lower levels, and basically anybody can do it at any level. So yeah, I did like the voice acting though. I think that the voice acting in Quest is getting better and better with everyone. So hopefully it'll continue that, and we'll have more of those.
The music was
Had that
also
with
quite good.
Nintendo.
Yeah, the music was really good actually. I had sounds on the entire time for that quest, which is kind of rare for me because I kind of hate the RS sounds. Well, most of them. But did you guys do the quest on the day of release, or did you do it like?
Yeah,
Yeah, Dave.
I was like there, updated.
Oh, what a nerd!
Just speed ran it. I didn't listen to any of it.
Oh, it was. Without spoiling too much, you guys like the end cutscene, like with the raptor, right when you're about, yeah. I'm not gonna ruin
that
it
was
for
actually
everybody,
quite cool.
but it's
Yeah, that
it's
was
a
actually
really good
cool.
cutscene. I thought that was really good. It reminded me of Harry Potter for some reason when Harry grabs like his wand and like Acio's a cup and like they both teleport out. You know, it really reminded me of that for some reason. It's such a weird thing though. I don't know. But what do you guys think of the quest? Like, just the general storyline and stuff.
What storyline? Just did it.
I
It
thought
was just, I don't know, it was a quick quest.
Yeah, I thought they could have added more to the storyline. Like they had a bit of one there, but then it didn't really go anywhere with the release of the QBD. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it should be more related to.
You were talking about the voice acting getting better, and I was doing Walk Ethic Sleeps the other day, and there's some parts where you have to be in. I think it's Taverley where the tree and stuff is, but half the town is like voice acted, and then the other half isn't when you're doing the quest. It's kind of funny just going through it.
I've actually haven't done that quest since they added or updated that town, so yeah, I might have to do that quest on another account or something again. I thought that the quest would have more to do with Dragonkin than just the wandering spirits and like the siren chick, but I don't know. I'm just like I'm really excited for the Grandmaster quest, the next one for the Dragonkin, because they kind of left us on a cliffhanger. And I keep saying this in like every podcast, but really want a Dragonkin quest, Jagex. I've been
Yeah.
waiting for that for a pretty long time now, since ROTM or whatever. But I think that quest is all right. I don't know. Like I said, I thought it was too easy. But let's get on to the last update of the month. Well, not the last one, but the most important one. QBD. So, how many people went into QBD and got KO'd instantly?
Well, not right when it came out, but I tried it the other day, and yeah, I got
Didn't
raped.
get killed instantly. It took me a few attempts to do it, but I mean, like, I think I got to last phase and then died. But like, the only reason I died was because my anti-fire ran out and I wasn't paying attention. I was more trying to pay attention to brewing, and I got hit by like a 700 by one of the firewalls that it spat at me. So it was, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it took me like 2 or 3 attempts to do my first one, and then I did a drop. I killed 100 of them to try and get a kite shield. I
Right.
ended up with like 2 visages, 2 dragonborn kits, a bunch of crossbow pieces, like 15 to 20 of them, and a bunch of other stuff. I made like 200 mil from 100 kills. So I've got a video drop log of that if anyone wants to check it out. Yeah.
So
It's a pretty good boss. I personally like it because you don't have to rely on a team, and it's like it's a solo boss, but it's actually a good challenge. Like it's not like something like KBD where you can run in and just hit it 3 times and it dies. It actually requires some sort of attention, and if you don't pay attention, you're pretty much gonna die. So like, yeah, it's pretty damn good. I'm impressed.
I don't know. I went the first time and I was really like apprehensive to go into the room because a lot of people had died and lost their stuff, including Omar. But but yeah, after I actually did end up going in, I went in with one of my friends and we did it at the same time. Not like at the same time, but like in the same room, but like at the same time. But we got pretty far actually, and then on the last phase with the I don't even know what they're called, the wraith things. Their little attack with like the black smoke on the ground just annihilated me from full HP. I was brewed to like 1300 HP or something, and I just got like completely dropped.
There is the idea with that black smoke is that you can kill when you get 4 of them, you can't really kill them all because you only get 4 sort of black spots. But when you have like 2 of them, you can at least kill 1 of them, and you only have to deal with 1 of them. If you drag them over their own smoke, like say when you have 2 of them, what I've found that 1 of them seems to spawn either side of you. So if you run either north or south, like and stand behind, like click on the other side of one, it'll drag them both through it, and 1 of them will get hit twice and most likely die or very close to die.
Yeah.
And that I find that helps a lot. But when you get 4 of them, you've just got to run through the middle of them and hope that some of them get hit, because you get like, I think you get like 1 game tick to click, and if you don't click, then you get hit by like all of them.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Jagex intended it to be a melee boss or a range one? Because I feel like it's not supposed to be ranged because your bolts don't get collected. But then with melee, these souls spawn in weird ways. They don't spawn like all around you. They sort of like if you're against an edge, they spawn on the other side of the map.
I didn't even know that. I haven't been with range, but from what I've seen, I mean, it's obviously designed to be more of a melee type boss because you just hit more. It's a lot weaker to melee. You hit higher. It's just when you first go in there and you see those EXP drops, you're like, what the hell am I hitting? Because it is kind of hard to see like exactly what you're hitting, since it's such a big boss. But with the range, I mean, they've both got their certain advantages to it. To be honest, I don't know. With the
So what all did you lose,
It
Omar?
wasn't that
I
bad. I
didn't
lost like
know.
Armando Battle Staff and a couple mil other stuff, and then Chaotic Crossbow and Arcane Stream. Yeah.
Um, my friend attempted it like right when it came out with I think it was Krill's top and bottom, and then Vrak's helm. And of course, when he died, he didn't want it to degrade, so he protected all the Barrows gear, and he lost like 3
Ah.
chaotics and steadfast
oh,
boots and
that
stuff.
sucks.
And he spent all of his tokens getting 120.
Well, that's just a bad idea
So
in
that
general,
sucks.
spending your tokens on experience. But yeah.
Yeah, you never know when they might release like Dungeoneering Reward 3 or something. That would actually be kind of good with the combat rework if they did that.
Chaotic hatchet and
Yeah,
pickaxe.
I've got like over 1,000,000 points just sitting there, so if I ever lose any chaotics, I'm alright, I guess.
That's cool, I guess. But what do you guys think about Omar's question with the range versus melee at the KBD, or what type
I think it
of?
was a melee boss. I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's I'd say it's sort of meant for both. Like melee, you're pretty much gonna get hit at least once by every one of the firewalls. So I think
True.
they were right when they said that you're gonna take more damage with melee, but I think that you have the option to sit back and dodge the firewalls with range and take less damage. But I find the only thing I find hard about range is the ghosts. Like, they seem to be weak to slash, but obviously if you're shooting them, they don't seem to take much damage. So you haven't got much melee bonus even if you do switch to like something else. But I think something like a chaotic longsword on slash might be a good thing to bring if you're gonna range, just so you can sort of hit the ghosts. But I don't know.
Yeah.
So are the Dragonbane bolts the best bolts you could use on them? Or
I
use
think
on
so,
here?
yeah.
Or like diamond or something?
Yeah,
I
either
see.
those are Ruby. That's what I
I've
always
seen
heard.
people use a lot of ruby bolts there.
Mm-hmm.
You do go through them really quick though, because like Omar said, you can't collect them.
Use like 200 volts a kill, which maybe not want to range, even if it is. Well, I don't think it even is slightly faster. I think it's pretty much
Yeah,
exactly the same speed as melee.
I find melee easier to do, if I'm honest.
And about the firewall thing, I've actually figured out the timing so you can run through the walls and not get hit. So you just wait till they're 1 square north of you and click like at right as they're going towards you, and you walk through them. It takes a little practice, but you can avoid all the damage from those.
Yeah, I
Oh,
did
wow.
that on accident the first time I went. I was like, wait, I need to learn how to do that every time.
Yeah.
But I couldn't recreate it because I didn't know exactly where I was standing. It's pretty easy to dodge them anyway if you just run back when it says she's about to take a big breath and just dodge through the little holes. It's not that hard to do. If
I
you
know,
don't-
but then you've got to it doesn't take any damage while you're doing that. So if like what I find easy to do is hit it once and then run back like 2 squares, and then run through the fire so you don't get hit by the fire, or you get hit like once rather than twice. Because if you stand there in one spot and the firewall just goes through you and past you, you'll get hit 200s like almost instantly.
Yeah,
So
that's how I got KO'd. I think that no, actually the first time it was the firewalls and that one fire breath attack she has, the one that she like charges back and just like unleashes her fire breath. Like I didn't avoid it the first time I got hit by it, and my anti-fire just seemed to want to run out at that exact moment when she did that. So basically one hit. Don't let that hit you. I'm gonna say that right now. It's like constant 500s until you're dead.
I heard that if you stand in the extreme flames on the fourth phase and you don't have any anti-fire, it hits like, you know how like if you're anti-fired it will hit like 250s constantly, like literally every tick. If you don't have anti-fire, that'll hit you 800s every tick.
I
Oh
don't
my god.
I don't remember what damage it hit me, but it KO'd me in 2 hits. That's all I remember. It was pretty bad.
I wonder if anyone will ever do it without anti-fire. 'Cause I bet that's a challenge. Like if someone can do that boss without anti-fire, I'll be impressed.
I don't know how possible that is, to be honest.
I mean, you'd have to avoid all the firewalls, or at least almost all of them. And when she uses Dragonfire, you just have to keep Brood up, I guess. It would be possible, but yeah, you'd use a lot of brews.
Yeah, like seeing what's the normal hit just from the Dragonfire if you don't have
200s.
no, like if you're not even potted
Oh,
Dragonfire pot.
if it's I think 600s.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
dead.
it's like
It's
600 to 700.
I mean,
Unle-
if you're in next gear, it would be possible. You just need like a yak of brews.
Yeah.
Keep brewing constantly.
I've seen people with people say that one defense people did it and they think
Mhm.
that's like amazing or something. But if you think about it, you're taking constant damage even if you're in like next gear. So it's not like it's that hard to do it with one defense. Same thing with like most things that hit you every time, like Calfight Queen and stuff like that. Even I don't think many people do Calfight Queen anymore though, but she has a similar effect where she just hits constantly. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't
So
know.
anybody have anything else to add to the QBD fight?
No.
No, we
Yeah,
can talk about
that's
the
what I was
crossbow
gonna
for a
go
bit
into. That's
though.
why I said fight. What a
Oh,
who's gotten a dekite? I
Did.
did.
Yeah.
Did you got one right? I didn't.
Mhm.
I didn't think anybody got one, but apparently I don't know. So that was kind of a dud.
Well, it wasn't really expected to be good in my opinion, but
A lot of people.
Yeah.
In our last podcast, we kind of discussed if it might like magically enchant the rest of the dragon set when you wear it or something. And we got all these crazy ideas going through our heads, and it turns out it's just a dud. But on the other rewards, the crossbow. Has anybody actually bought and used the crossbow on any bosses or necks mainly?
I haven't, but I've seen videos about it. It seems like it is more of, well, it has to like
Mhm.
lock onto
Yeah.
its target, right? So if you're in a like armor mass or something, then it's not as good because the effect doesn't last as long, if at all. Because I'm not sure how
I
many
think it's
hits it takes for it
It's
to
like
lock on.
7 or something.
And
Hmm.
okay, and I know you can't use it on other players. So I think I thought when it very first came out, chaotic crossbow was just done, and I was raging, but I found out that it's not as good as people were saying it was. So I'm actually kind of glad.
I saw
to
a
be
couple of
honest.
videos of just some God Wars with it. I haven't seen anybody do necks with it yet, but I'm really interested in seeing that. But um, with the Arma, it was like an average speed kill. It wasn't like any faster than a CCB would be. So, I mean, for people that don't have CCB and don't want a dunge and they're soloing God Wars or any boss that takes a long time, I think it'd be a viable option. But then again,
Mm.
you can't use enchanted bolts with it, so you got like the royal bolts and that's it. So
How expensive are those
200
royal
They're
GPs,
bolts?
not
I
very
I haven't looked
expensive.
into
They're
it.
Yeah.
they're going for very cheap now. Like I ended up with loads of them from the kills I got. Like I never kept many of them, but like
can you use?
it is. I'd say it's a cheap alternative. It works out to be cheaper, I guess, once the price stables out. I don't know what price the bolts are going to be, but
Right.
Um, with
Same with
the
the D'hide.
with the bolts, can you use them with the regular crossbow, or can you only use them with that crossbow?
only the royal crossbow for royal bolts.
See, if they were actually usable with any crossbow, they would actually be really good because they have a really high range strength. But yeah, I guess that's out the window. But yeah, Schyler saying about the D'hide. Has Arma completely crashed yet? I haven't.
Yes, it was about 8 mil a piece yesterday.
Oh geez.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was like
God.
11 mil before the update, I think.
Yeah, it's already all God Wars items are already low enough, and they're kind of just like tanking everything else. And
Arma got
AGS are
owned. First of all, not
Right.
only did the Armadillo armor get killed by Royal, but the God Sword by the
Yeah.
combat rework.
yeah, and that's basically the same.
Oh yeah.
Not the same update, but basically like 2 days after each other. So Arma's basically pointless now.
Yeah.
Are other god
EGS and
swords going up now?
ZGS are going up, I think, and AGS and SGS are dropping.
Oh, God's sake.
Hmm. Might buy an SGS just because it
Oh,
looks
wow.
the coolest.
Mhm.
I'm actually wondering. I'm not gonna go into that yet because that's like saved for the Comet rework.
Yeah.
Is anything else with the QVD worth talking about?
Uh,
Not that I can think of.
Mm, don't think so.
Okay, So let's move on to. We'll talk shortly about the Crucible, and then we'll move on to combat rework, so we don't take up all the time with the combat rework. So, who actually did Bounty Hunter? I know Sean did.
Hey.
Not a big PK personally.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't think many of us are, but
I did a little bit, but yeah, hardly any. I didn't find it all that fun.
so basically, it's like your. It's like
Okay,
your
Sean,
story,
take it
Sean.
away.
Well, I mean, the original Bounty Hunter, that was just awesome. Like, I think that was actually quite a worthy replacement of the Wilderness, because when that got removed, obviously everyone was distraught, and then that came out, and that was awesome. And then they removed that because people were like trading gold throughout that and stuff like that. And then they brought out the PvP
Right.
system, and then Bounty Hunter Worlds, which were, I guess, the closest we had been to the old Wilderness. And then obviously we got the Wilderness back, so Bounty Hunter was kind of useless. And then everyone kind of wanted it to come back because everyone was getting crappy drops and all the rune had gone down. So yeah,
And PJ
'cause
timers, right?
everyone wanted the sort of the older PvP system where you couldn't get PJ'd, and after a fight you had a certain amount of time to pick up your stuff before someone could attack you, something like that. And yeah, it's just nice that they've actually done it, because they announced at RuneFest last year that this would come out in the first quarter of the year, I think it was. So it's a bit late, I guess, but you know, whatever. Better late than never. And yeah, I'm quite excited for this.
Right. Well, how do you think the new one's gonna
Well,
work?
it sounds quite interesting. It's like some sort of a building or something you go into, and you just you can only attack your target, which is different because in Bounty Hunter you had the Bounty Hunter rogues, and then you had people who like only killed their targets. So this is literally you can only kill your target. So whoever you get assigned against, you've got to take them on, which I think is quite a cool concept actually. And then the whole idea of if you become like the best of the best, then you get this like super awesome equipment which basically makes you unstoppable. Which would be interesting to see how they balance that out, like how someone who's so overpowered can actually be taken down. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like PvP definitely needs something.
Maybe if you have that weapon, then
Yeah,
everyone
that's
could
what I was
pile you or
thinking.
something.
So I remember them saying something like that you get like a sword, and everyone wants to try and kill you to get that sword, and then yeah. So, yeah,
Right.
I think PvP was definitely missing out on something, and so finally getting an update. Yeah, nothing else I can really say about it.
There's the
They're also
rewards.
coming out with the hit point boosting gloves there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
which, yeah, I don't know. What's the obsession with this whole life point boosting stuff all of a sudden? Like Jagex seemed to be doing a lot of that. I don't know, it's weird. I don't think we need as many life points as that. And I mean, they said the combat rework's gonna give us even more life points, isn't it?
yeah
Which,
they've kind of talked about adding life points to gear for a really long time, and I'm glad that they're not just adding life points to gear, because that would kind of just make it, I don't even know, just pointless. It would be a pretty crap update actually. But really with the Crucible, there's the gloves, and then there's also just that chance to become invincible and just run through and just Rambo everybody. That's gonna be pretty interesting. Also the
that'll
way sorry, what? Go
I
ahead.
said that'll make for some interesting moments, like some good PK clips, stuff like
Kill
that.
streaks and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they also have the way that the actual like targeting system works is, I think it's going to be a lot more advanced than how it used to work, because didn't it before like just go off a combat level, and now they're actually going to be doing it off of every skill level and like a percentage of damage and DPS and stuff like that, I'm assuming. So it's gonna be a lot more advanced in that way, so you'll get a more even fight, which will be interesting.
Though I think it did say that the minimum level you have to be is, I can't remember, it was like 60 or something. Yeah, and I think it said that you can get matched against anyone. So like 138 could get matched against level 60, I think.
That'd be a pretty even fight.
Yeah, very even fight. Yeah.
Just like
oh my
Fist of
God.
Gothics.
Oh yeah.
That's always fun.
I love fighting noobs. They try to kill me, and I just
Yeah,
have my
that's
Titan kill
funny.
them over and over again.
I feel bad, but at the same time, it's like this is fucking funny.
It's funny.
Yeah.
They're getting free mage XP.
Yeah.
That must be the only reason why they're
Did you
there.
guys see the teaser image for the Crucible on the behind the scenes there? Like, if you click on the link in behind the scenes, it shows an image. For some reason, it reminds me of Dominion Tower. Maybe it's just the same artist and the same
Yeah,
style.
it actually does look like it.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
reminds me of like with the images they've been putting up. It reminds me of like a mansion, and you just run around this mansion killing people. I don't even know why I thought that. Maybe it's all the stairs and stuff and the way it looks like with the entryway. Maybe like an abandoned palace or something. It could be just like this giant new world that is just purely for PvP. So
I'd say it's a giant.
Or you know the area? I think it's north of like the Elf lands. It's just it's like a giant wall, and then everything just turns black. It could be up
Finally
there or
something
something.
there.
That'd be kind of cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I've always wondered what was supposed to go
Warnings
there.
End Part 3.
Oh wow! I knew somebody's gonna say something about that.
Oh God, no! Please no. Oh wait, I think that was they ended it with the
Temple
Temple of
Light, yeah.
Light, didn't they?
Is that the end of the quest series?
No,
pretty
they're
sure
going
they're
to
bringing-
do another.
Yeah,
Mod Crystal, I believe, is working on it. Or
That's-
something.
that's good. Hopefully, there's a new boss with that quest, like a main like elven threat that you have to help them like defend the entire city against, and you got like this giant thing flying in the air, and you got to kill it while you're in the city. That'd be pretty cool. I should be a concept developer for JX.
Well, the city, I mean, the city isn't really there anymore. They packed it up into crystals, and we're not really sure where it is. But, yeah, some sort of boss there would be nice.
Yeah, I'm just a gung ho person with the quests. I
Mhm.
just love quest bosses and stuff like that because it's interesting. Like when with Nomad and stuff like that, it like really tested you. Back then, at least. Now it's easy, but back then it actually was like a true fight. And up until then, it was like Jad. That was like the only thing per switch. That's it.
Yeah. With your
Yeah.
crystal bow killing
But
Jed.
anyway, I think we should move into the main topic, or the biggest topic, which is the combat beta. Like lots of things to talk about with this. So anybody want to start talking? Because
No.
I don't know where to begin.
Well,
Yeah.
have all of us gotten invited? I have.
No, I haven't been a member for
I-
12 months. So
Josh,
I
have
haven't
you?
gotten the auto invite thing. I've only had my account for 9 months.
Oh.
I'm not a complete noob. I've played before that, but yeah. Really, with the beta, everybody's like contemplating like the way it's gonna work and stuff. I guess we should start talking about the beta first, because that's what's coming out or this month.
Yeah.
So,
I'm really interested in
Well,
the way special
get into
attacks are
that.
gonna work. Or not the way they're not gonna work. Okay.
Well,
Go
main
ahead.
thing I was wondering about the beta is it going to be everyone starts at level 3, or is it going to be they give us max accounts
I
with
think
full
that they've
tour for
confirmed
Burnix and everything?
I think that they've confirmed that they're actually gonna you're gonna have your levels. So.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I read it on a forum post, but it could be true. I don't know. Anybody
Yeah,
else
I
heard
hope-
about that area?
That's what I heard as well, but I didn't see any confirmation posts or anything, so I'm not sure. It would make sense if it were like that, though, because
Yeah.
that way they'd get a variety
And
of testers.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know. They might do something with like a bank full of like gear that's leveled to you or something like that. But they might just throw you in there with whatever you had in your bank. So that would be really interesting to see how like combat with like glaciers and stuff like that, and just random Slayer monsters. See how that works.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that I can do a
I
dungeon
heard
in the
that
beta.
they were just
see how
copying
dungeoneering's
your
going to
account
be like.
over to the beta servers.
That's what they did with RS2. So they'll probably do that with
Yeah,
that beta.
that
I
would
wonder
make-
if there are
that
going to
would
be
make
any.
sense.
I wonder if there are going to be any trades, like how people sell stuff in RuneScape Classic for RuneScape 2 GP. Like you could sell stuff in the beta for normal RS GP.
Well,
Yeah,
Hmm,
that's a good idea.
I don't
like at a
know.
don't
discounted price or something.
Yeah,
Since it's
selling
gonna
full
go-
Torva 500 mil. I don't even know how much it is, so that's probably really inaccurate.
That is an interesting concept though, because if you want to test a weapon and you don't have it,
Mhm.
Or if they
Selling
do it.
dungeon floors on the beta.
Yeah. Or if you could even just trade chaotics just for the
They
beta.
could throw.
But
I
that probably wouldn't
mean,
work
they
though.
could do a thing like they did at RuneFest and just give you a bank full of items and not just
Yeah,
max your
but
account.
like Omar said, that would just mean everyone would be running around full tour for like, lol, 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 look at me. But if everyone had like their own stuff, then it'd be more variety and stuff. So
I
that'd be
think that they
better.
should do it in like a random lottery system, like give people a certain set of gear and make them test with that.
No, that would make people mad.
Yeah.
Give
Be a
like
lot
a
of mad people.
give like a pure full
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, oops, sorry about that. Can't use your
Mm.
armor. Oh yeah, speaking of
Speaking of
peers, so many
peers,
peers are pissed off right
They
now.
should be, yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I've never really done anything with peers, so I think
Bad
that
them.
the peer community is getting a little bit too upset about like defense. I mean, if you choose not to train this skill, you're gonna be at a disadvantage. Uh, even I mean, they've even said that. I guess in the wild, if you run into like a rune pure and you're a one defense pure, and they have like some epic like ability to block your attacks and the life point boost from their rune armor and stuff like that, like it could be pretty bad. But most pures fight against pures, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
I don't think that it's gonna be that big of a
no,
deal,
that's
and
true.
they'll adjust to it. They'll just be more. I hate to say it, but there'll be more rushing. Like people, the pures just running in with their 99s and just
Mm.
instantly KOing people because they have those high attack stats. I think it'll
Yeah.
balance it out. They'll balance it out. I mean, they're
And
not gonna
it'll
just throw pures out of the game because it's been in the game since PKing. So I
Thing
don't.
with Pures though, Pures is just I
I'm
never understood the point behind them. Like back in the day, Pures used to have a point because back then you'd make a Pure solely for the reason that you'd have higher offensive combat stats than somebody the same combat level as you that'd be a main account. Whereas now that everybody's a Pure, you'd probably be at an advantage having
they're all
defense
pures.
because
Yeah.
it's pretty much one claw spec and it's over. That's it. Like, and people just make. In, I, I see pures these days as like um people getting sick of the game on their mains because they're either bored or they don't have the motivation to get high stats, so they get bored and they think, oh, okay, I'll make another account. And then it starts off an endless cycle where they just keep creating pure accounts that have no reason whatsoever. Like some of them, they don't even PK on them. But
Mhm.
it's I don't know. I just don't really understand the point behind pures at least anymore. Anyway, and I think with the combat rework, I hope it does put them at a disadvantage because like
They
it might
should be.
teach them that they
Yeah.
should have put time into like their main account or whatever and competed with that rather than wasting their time with accounts that I don't know. I just don't see the point behind it because even PKing, though they're PKing on like level 50 accounts, and then they're PKing things like monks robes and skimmies and like why you could PK on a main account, PK
Yeah.
barrows, god swords, claws, much better stuff. Why would you not? It just doesn't seem really worth the time to make a new account. It seems like a
I
waste of time
The
to me.
effort put into
I can
it. Yeah.
understand it from that perspective as well, but I think a lot of the pure thing is just about having fun with PKing and not putting the time in to make a level 138 main, because you can make like as you said, like a level 70 or something and just have fun PKing random junk. And it doesn't take that long to get. If you want to PK as a main, you need to make like 200 mil or whatever it is to get all your levels up and to get good gear. And then you're risking a lot more. And I don't know, it's a whole different thing. With pures, you can just go in welfare and mess around.
No
And there's
one
also the
rushes
whole
you.
pure community. So some pures don't even have mains. It'll just be they just play as a pure just for the community, and that's what they're used to. That's what they do in RS. It's like level 3 skiller. They limit themselves, but it's just a style of gameplay. If they're having fun with it, I don't see the problem really.
Yeah, well,
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I think if everybody's a pure, like, if I don't think it'll annihilate pures, but I think, they're not going to be able to fight mains because they're going to be at such a massive disadvantage. So they're only going to be able to fight pures. So I think maybe that, but I mean,
I think that in the way of PvP, like what we'll see come up is like a unofficial classing system. like with the pures, if you think about it, they're kind of like barbarians in other games where they have like no defense, but they have really high attack, and then you'll have different types of tanks and stuff like that that might be better than the pures, but the pures will still be an advantage for having such high combat stats. But like they said in one of their posts that, well, in this main thread that I've been reading, that if like a guy comes up to you and he has 50 defense and you're a pure and it's like a fair fight and you're not rushing him or something, it's gonna be like he's gonna win, which is kind of bad, I guess, in a
Mhm.
way, because
Yeah.
that then defense might be a little bit too overpowered.
Well, I know you guys are on about PKing right now, but I'm really worried about dungeoneering, what that's going to turn into, because there's already so much going on right now while you're in a floor. If I have to click a billion different buttons to combo a bat at a guardian
Well, the
door,
idea I
I'm
got
going
is
to be
that
annoyed.
combat's actually going to be quicker now. It's going to be quicker to kill stuff because they said something about Slayer. They said Slayer's going to become a faster skill, so I assumed they meant that it'd be quicker to kill stuff. So they said they're actually going to change the XP rates to be more realistic, so that it's stay the same.
Wait, are you sure they're not just coming out with Slayer
Well, from what
spam
I've
or
seen
something
from
like that?
the video, the behind the scenes video, the combat does seem a lot quicker, and you hit more rapidly, and you hit higher, and it's just like they're gonna be raising HP as well as raising hits, and with like dungeoneering, I mean, you'll have your little hotbar now. So instead of having to like click on these things individually, you'll just be up at the top of your keyboard pushing 1 2 3 1 2 3 over and over again. So it'll be kind of like other games in that sense where you got the hotkeys and you bind stuff to them, and it
Yeah.
makes it a lot easier to kill stuff and just more. It'll become a second nature to you after a while.
So maybe Skype floors and stuff will be a lot more popular than they are now, because if you're busy pressing your little numbers to attack things, then it's going to be tough doing other
that's a good
things
point.
also.
Might become less of a social thing, just the game in general. But no.
At least with dungeoneering.
Well, what do you guys think is going to happen to staking then?
Oh jeez.
I think it will
there's
still
an
go on.
option for a no action bar, so you can just do the normal boxing.
Oh,
I
I
I
hope
think
so.
it's either going to become skill based, where you're only going to have people that are truly confident they're good at combat, or people are just going to stop staking and start like.
Dicing.
Flower game.
Well, I would
Hot and
hope that the
cold.
flower game's
Yeah.
going to be gone by the time it comes out anyway. But I mean,
Aren't the
No.
mithril seeds used
They're
in a lot of
basically
quests
find
though?
another way to gamble or something.
They're not?
Who's
Mm.
gonna
I don't
find
think
another
it's
way?
fair.
Oh.
I don't know. I think people might just eventually evolve and think, okay, well, you know, dual arena isn't so bad after all. I just need to learn to be good. And then when you think they're good, they're going to go there and compete against other people that think they're good. So, like, it's going to have an element of
Right.
skill rather than just clicking on the other character, going away, having a wank for 5 minutes, coming back, and then you've won 500 mil or you've lost 500 mil. You know what I mean? Obviously, wanks take longer than 5 minutes, but that was just an example.
Yeah.
Okay.
And before, hey, wanks take 5 minutes.
Wow.
Well, that's what rocktails are for, anyways.
What the hell? Okay.
Wanking. What? I used to watch well, I've not used to, but I've seen old staking clips where they wouldn't really disable any of the rules because there wasn't like summoning or anything, but they would be using like a whip or whatever, and then someone would turn on their prayer and they'd switch to like Vrax to hit through their prayer
Yeah.
melee, and it was just a lot more, I guess, skill
A lot
based
of
than it
people
is
staked
now.
like that back then. It was pretty much the same
I used
thing.
to stake like that. I used to stake with prayer on. I'd be wearing full rune, and then I'd switch to Varax.
You used to be able to stake with a one-handed weapon, but now it's kind of you don't want to do that. You just don't
Yeah.
because you have so many different options.
Rapier,
and,
staff of light, CLS,
like
stuff like that.
back in the day, you could have a whip, and that would be like the best thing you could use. So
Yeah,
yeah.
Right.
my account was with.
Oh jeez.
Now we have a
God.
whip vine.
So
But
powerful.
in the sense of with the staking, it's just like they're probably gonna make, like Omar said, like just an option where you can just check off you can't use this skill, you can't use this skill, and stuff like that, and just make it like a normal stake. Because I think that it needs to remain in the game. Like staking needs to remain in the game because without it, all we'll have is just like the ex-dicers running around everywhere, just making up different games and scamming people and just messing with people. It's just
Yeah.
with the dicers, like they took the dice bag out for a
I
reason. I
mean,
mean, get the freaking hint. They don't want it in the game.
yeah. And then they
Yeah.
go and make their little IRC things. So they don't even have to use the game to dice anymore. They just stand
Well,
there
no,
and then
there
roll
was
on IRC.
one of
and
those friends chats. They actually
whatever.
got one of them actually scripted a bot into the game,
A
which
bot.
they would just type
Yeah.
roll in the
Yeah.
game. That was
I
ridiculous.
saw that.
There's
extent.
a lot of things like that. I mean, these people that gamble on IRC are just stupid in my opinion, because it's obvious that like the bot's rigged
Fixed.
to give the host
Yeah, exactly.
some kind of slight advantage, and they're obviously not going to tell you about it. But
Yeah.
a bot is a bot. It means it's scripted, and it means that it's I wouldn't believe any Dyson clan that says that their bot is 100% legit, because for a start the odds are against the player who's gambling anyway, because most like Dyson clans used to have like odds of 60 times 2, which means that
Yeah.
60% of the time you're going to lose, whereas if you go to the duel arena or whatever, it's 50-50 every single time. But
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
slightly less 50-50 if you're like switching your combat styles. I don't even know if that
Yeah.
works or not.
well, yeah, if you use PID and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to combat
So-
rework, because we're getting
Yeah.
a little bit too into sticking
What
here.
do you guys actually think? Like, do you think this is an update that's actually needed? Because personally, I'm kind of like, I don't want to change the combat because this is like a drastic change. Like this
Right.
isn't just sort of, I don't know, like an action bar and everything. It means they're going to change the whole like UI and everything. I just think it's just a bit, I don't know. I'm not in favor of it really.
For little things like Slayer, I think it might spice things up a little bit, but I can't just imagine. I mean,
Mhm.
for like Bandos, you just sit there and claw spec every now and then and switch to your CLS. But like I said, I keep going back into Dungeoneering and just
Yeah.
wondering how it's going to turn out. Cause
I wouldn't worry about
that's what I
Dunge. Mod
usually do
Crusoe is
anyways.
big into the combat rework stuff, or at least I know he's like the combat curator. So, yeah, he does dungeoneering and combat. So I'm sure Dunge will come out okay.
I wouldn't really worry about Dunge. I think if anything, it's gonna make Dunge a lot more fun and interactive and stuff. Especially on the bosses, it'll bring a whole new like aspect to the dungeoneering bosses. Just new tactics you can use on them and stuff. But
Right.
basically, you guys have heard about. I'm assuming you guys have heard about like the removal of special attacks, right? We
Mhm.
talked a little bit about
Yeah.
that earlier. How they're going to be removing the special attack
Mhm.
from all the god swords, so people are like panic selling, panic buying god swords right now. So
Yeah.
like they've said that it's going to be based on like the special attacks are going to be based on the type of weapon you're wielding and also on your levels. So that's going to be really interesting because right now all levels are really used for is accuracy, damage, and blocking damage, and also item
Blocking
requirements.
damage.
I don't know what they're going to do with item requirements, if they're going to lower or
Right.
higher the I think that they might actually lower the item requirements a little bit. I don't know for god swords and stuff like that. You don't want to have like level 60s running around with them or something, but I don't know. It might be interesting. This little thought.
Yeah. It would be nice though if they said they're boosting the stats of god swords because they're like taking away the special or whatever. So it'd be nice if stuff like Zammy or Sarah, even just bosses that you usually don't make much money on,
Yeah.
were actually kind of profitable again.
I don't think there will really
'Cause
be
I
any
like
point in
Sarah.
doing Sarah though. You'd be better off just add Bandos or Zami, whichever one you find easier. Because yeah, the god swords will all be about the same price.
Yeah.
It depends on.
Sarah's so nice though, because if you play with your sound on, every time you hit her, she just does that nice moan. You know, so
Schyler.
Really, that wow. I think that in a way, you're right,
Yeah.
Omar. But you can't forget about the secondary drops from the minions and also the boss. Like, you don't know what the Sarah Sword's gonna be like or the Zami Spear's gonna be like after this, since
Well,
every
Sarah Sword will be, unless
yeah,
they change the stats around a lot, it's going to
it's
be
gonna
useless.
drop. Yeah.
Yeah.
But with the Zami Spear, you don't know. It could spears right now are frowned upon for basically anybody that doesn't want to train controlled, so or defensive. So if they are making it to where they're decent now, Zami Spear might jump in price because it might be better than a whip in some situations.
Zemi Sword and Zemi Spear, Sarah Sword, and Whips
Right.
are all pretty much equivalent in terms of the damage per second, except Whips can wear Defender,
Yeah.
and Spears use Stab, and Sarah Sword has Crush. So if they make it so that they can all train everything, attack, strength, defense, and controlled, then it sort of makes the Sarah Sword useless, except at Water Fiends and Zami Spear. No one really uses it to train, so it'll still only be useful at court pretty much.
We don't know
Yeah.
how Corp's gonna work yet either, though.
Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting too.
Yeah.
I think that's
Because if I can stab Corp with my
It's
whip,
still
or
gonna
no, that
have
wouldn't
all
work
the
because I think
attack,
it's only spears, not stab,
like
right?
options on it. It's just you can train any skill, like the attack, strength, defense with it. But it doesn't with the combat rework. Like certain things
right.
are going to be weak against certain attack styles, like more often than you'd see now. Like yeah, Corp's weak against spears because the damage isn't halved. But once they release that, I mean, there might be certain monsters that are extremely weak against stab and extremely weak against slash. And for people without chaotics, that might be very helpful because that right now, what are stab options? I mean, Crassy Sword, broad, or yeah, broadsword or whatever the hell it's called,
Rapier.
leaf blade
well,
sword,
not.
and Zami Spear. So it could possibly take over the place of whip for most things. If
I think before bosses were just generally weaker to a slash, but I'm pretty sure they're like the new bosses and things that are coming out are more weak to stab just to, well, not necessarily encourage people to go and get a chaotic or whatever, but to even things out, I guess. Not really sure.
most of the older bosses are
But
actually
that's what
weak
I've heard.
against
I'm not sure if
crush,
it's true.
like
You-
KBD and
Really?
KQ are actually pretty weak against crush.
KBD,
And-
really?
yeah.
Even though it's a dragon?
KBD is
Yeah, I
actually,
would think
I'm pretty sure
stab,
he's
'cause he's-
weak
yeah.
against Crush. Yeah, I remember bringing D Mace with me to kill him a lot. I don't. That was a long time ago, like 2005. So yeah, it could as well be me
Oh.
being a noob, but yeah.
Just bring your Granite Maw and own KBD.
Nope.
Or no, they didn't have super
That
antivirus
would have
back
been a
then.
bad idea, especially with Shark to heal you. What else do we have to talk about with the combat rework? I'm kind of like reading the thread as I'm talking about it.
I'm interested what they do with healing, how foods will heal, because they said they're increasing the rate of healing, of course. But I'm not sure. I mean, I assume they're not just going to make the life point boost means that brews are the only way to heal decently now. Like, I'm sure they're going to increase the healing for a lot of stuff, but I'm not sure how they'll make it work. Like, whether it'll
think
work
they
over
might-
time or...
Bring in
Mhm.
some healing spells.
Yeah.
Well,
They
with
mentioned they're
says like
taking out
another-
Excalibur
Yeah.
spec, and they're making it so that like defense or health abilities will do the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah,
and have
I'm sad
healing
about
over
that.
times, I think I said. So similar sort of thing.
I know you talked about, you made a video a couple days ago or yesterday or something, Omar, and you were talking about how it might make the fight kiln and fight caves places where you don't have access to food a lot, like you have limited access to supplies. That might make it a lot easier. But I don't know how. Like it's really gonna be up to how they reintroduce the special system into the game. That's the biggest part of the combat rework, like the biggest mystery right now. They're not saying anything about it. They've already said
Yeah.
that they're going to be repurposing a lot of different things to it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's going to be some kind of like stamina or something like that. I'm guessing it's going to be stamina, and I don't know if the potions, like the recover special potions, are going to recover stamina now, or if they're going to make it to
Yeah.
where like every special you can do, like on any skill, on any combat skill, now uses stamina. I'm thinking that's what they're going to do. That, I don't know. That's
And
Sorry.
in like the long term, this could be quite interesting because they're talking about how they're going to start designing bosses that require completely different fighting mechanics in the way that you need a healer, a tank, a range DPS, and a melee DPS. And that's something, if you look at other MMORPGs, you know, I'm gonna say it, World of Warcraft, other games like that, that's something that they use, and introducing that to RS could be interesting. And again, it's a long-term thing.
It just sounds like a more complicated. It just sounds like a more complicated version of Barbarian
Yeah, that's
Assault
true.
to me.
I think that the game needs stuff like that because right now mostly it's a solo game, and if you're not soloing, you're doing things like next where everybody's ranging. Like it'd be
Yeah.
nice to see more bosses where you have to have a mage, you have to have a melee, and you have to have a ranger, maybe even a beefy tank just with lots of HP and good armor. It'd be interesting to see that type of mechanic instituted into RuneScape
Yeah,
because
I just really hope they don't go down the wrong route and do try to replicate those other sort of games. Because the thing about RS is it's so different to every other game, MMORPG. It's got its own sort of, I don't know what, flair. It's got its own little thing that's special about it. I don't want them to like ruin that because then it would just become like everything else and it just become boring. So that's what I'm worried about, really.
Right.
yeah, I don't know. You shouldn't really be worried because every game has to have a point where it's got to advance or it'll die. And we're gonna reach that point very soon with RuneScape where the combat is just it doesn't have any room for improvement. You don't have any room for like advancement. You got your chaotics and you got your necks and that I mean you just do that all day. It's gonna get boring after a while. They have to do this. I mean,
Yeah.
it's something that they've been thinking about doing for a really long time, obviously, and it's just not something that recently popped up. So I'm basically going to be considering this a new game. It's kind of like the transition from Classic to RS2 is like a huge transition. Like, people didn't like it at first. They're like, oh, this sucks. I liked RS because it was a simple game that I could just go on and cook stuff, and now it's this game where you kill stuff with these special attacks, and yeah. But now it's like people are going back to that and like looking for excuses why they shouldn't do this. But
I'm definitely glad there's a beta coming out. Like I
yeah,
would have been so much more skeptical of this.
I think
but
everybody would have been if they didn't have the
Yeah.
beta coming out.
Yeah,
I thi-
I'm glad, and it's nice to have a beta.
I don't know. Well, let's see, what else do we have to talk about with the combat update? I really should have read this again before we started.
I
Oh,
think we should cover this thing.
the new. Well,
The
that
differences
and
between
the
like
new
two-handed
weapons that
weapons
they're going to
and
be bringing out.
The
One-handed
bow
weapons.
shield.
The bow shield and also the two-handed crossbow.
When I read that, oh my god. Just the things that went through my head, just
The bow shield.
imagining all these stupid things.
Yeah, I was too actually. Like a shield on the side of a bow or something. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It could be interesting. I mean, not a lot of games have interesting things like that. They don't like to come up with their own ideas. They just like, here's a short bow, go shoot stuff. And with
Yeah.
RuneScape, it's gonna be like you got the shield and you get to unlock
Right.
abilities that you can use with your shield bow and stuff like that. That's actually really interesting. And then you got the two-handed crossbows, which might outdo some current one-handed crossbows in damage, but are a lot slower.
And they mentioned they're going to bring in more range and magic weapons, I think, or something. Which, it feels like they've been saying that forever, to be honest. Oh, range and magic's underpowered. Oh, we're going to change that. It seems like they're
Yeah.
saying that all the time.
It's always
Pretty
been underpowered since the beginning of the game, really, especially
think-
back in Classic.
Since
Yeah.
the invention
I
of the
think Volleyball
dragon
did a pretty good
dagger.
job to balance mage.
Mm.
Yeah, because it's not as expensive as Storm of Armadyl, but it's still pretty powerful.
So, anything
Yeah.
else about two-handed crossbows and bow shields? Anybody else want to add anything?
No, I think the stunning, how the video how the Rangers could like
Yeah.
stun and stuff. How exactly do you think
Guess
that'll
we're
work?
like an
Will he just like
entangle or
not be able to do
something.
anything for 5 seconds or
So
something?
I imagined it.
Yeah. I saw the mage fight. Holy crap, that was
That's what
so
you get when
unfair.
you're
He was just
meleeing,
entangling
though,
him and
against the mage.
farcasting.
Just how it's supposed to be.
What's up with that?
Yeah. They
They're
said they're
supposed.
gonna the triangle. They're gonna be
Yeah.
make it more of a triangle and less of a pancake or something like that. That's the metaphor.
That's pretty cool, actually. I don't know with the combat triangle. I mean, it's supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
Meleeers are supposed to kill rangers, and rangers are supposed to kill mages, and mages are supposed to kill meleeers. It's just how it's supposed to work. And I mean, that's how the
Right.
whole like hybrid thing's supposed to work. I mean, that's something else you could talk about. Wilderness
God.
PvP and hybriding. Uh, with the like they were talking about how you can disrupt your enemies' attacks and stuff and make them heal you instead of damaging you if you know when they're about to unleash their giant like special or something.
Oh,
It's more like a
like you
This is gonna come
siphon.
rune spam.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not what I
Like
meant. I
if
meant like
you,
how next siphons.
it's not gonna be that overpowered,
yeah.
obviously, but if you time it right and they're about to try to spec and kill you, you can just pop your special on and
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Just spawn blood
That's
veils
not
and
what I
they'll
was
start
talking about
attacking
at
you
all,
and
but
then
okay.
yeah.
I
So
hope hybriding's gonna be alright. Like I don't want them to ruin that because that's something that's been around for so long.
if anything, it'll make
Such
it more
shame.
skillful. To be honest,
Yeah, maybe.
you'll have to be really quick with
Yeah.
your action bar to be able to avoid getting. Wow.
You have to buy a $200 keyboard so you can press all your little buttons and your mouse and stuff.
Jagex keyboard.
No, they're gonna
Jag
bring out the
motion.
what was that suit called with all the
Wow.
balls all over it?
Not the jag motion, no.
Just doing
Yeah.
stuff around your room. Ugh.
Oh
Yeah.
jeez.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
Did
you
you
would
want to
know.
say something, Omar?
No.
Okay. Thought I heard you muting your mic and unmuting it and stuff. I thought you
Oh,
were
there
trying
was
to...
a car going by or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I'm just annoyed at the moment. It took me 6 tries just to log in because it said your account has been logged in.
Oh yeah. God, I hate that.
I keep getting that too, to be honest. I don't know why. If that's something they do with their servers or something, or it's kind of annoying. That and your game session has ended. That was annoying when that popped up. That was like you got to reload your client every time that happens.
Wait,
It's
I thought
a
that's just
recent,
from playing for
like,
5
thing,
hours
though.
straight.
It's not something that's been in the game for a while.
Well, there used to be the 6-hour thing where it just
Oh.
kicks you off.
There's still the 6-hour log, yeah.
Oh.
That was
So
it.
yeah,
Oh.
you usually get
The 6
stuck
hours,
offline
yeah.
before that if you're like logging off and hopping worlds or something, just
Yeah.
as the session's expired.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
annoying.
exactly.
Or it'll just kick.
Not that I would know. I mean, I
The
don't
other
play.
day, I actually got
5
kicked off to
hours
the
in a row
lobby,
without
and when I tried to
stopping.
log in, it said like the server was down, and I went to the server page, and all the servers were like up. So I don't know what the hell that was about. It was just some random glitch or something.
Yeah.
I think yesterday the servers went down, or a few of them did for a minute. I think I got kicked out of the Fish Flingers game or something, and a lot of other people did as well.
Are you getting ready for fish lingers as well?
Hmm.
I've got it all set, but yeah, I'll be ready. Yeah.
Wait, so you've
Yeah,
already
I mean,
you've already
it's
gotten
completionist content, so it's the
tier
type of
5
stuff that
tackle
I do
box or
normally,
whatever?
but
Okay, wow.
yeah, we'll see what they do if they add that new fishing gear. I assume we'll have to do something to get that.
Yeah. I hope it's quick XP. Like I hope it actually is
Mhm.
some sort of training method in a way as well.
I wish they would add like
That's
an
what they're
outfit
doing,
like
yeah.
the lumberjack
Come on,
and stuff.
come on, Schyler, get with it.
I
Oh,
think that
never
the
mind.
fish flingers, they're making it
Well,
more
that was
into
my
a
idea, jeez.
D&D type thing. It's not really a mini game because it is limited to how many times you can do it.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's more of a D&D in my eyes at least. So maybe it is going to be like really good fishing XP. Every day you can just do it and get like 150k or something.
Oh
And
god, it'd be lovely.
I don't think it'll be that good. But, I mean, it's only
I can hope.
2 10-minute sessions every day.
Oh.
So
oh gee, I thought it was more than that. My bad. You probably get like 10k then, but
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, currently it's 15 minutes, but the games only begin every 90 minutes. But after the update, it's going to be
Ugh.
10-minute games. But you're only going to be able to do 2 a day. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Rod?
Well, that sucks. At least it's not like you have to sit there 24 hours a day
Yeah.
for 8 weeks
It's
like
so
I thought it
packed
was
with
when
people
Rogie
with
was
comp capes
describing
at the
it.
moment, just trying to save their capes.
It's
Yeah.
kind of well. Right now, you can save yourself some time. It's
Yeah.
not
Oh,
gonna be
jeez.
that much time saved, but I
It'll
mean,
save like a week.
in the end, if you want to have a completionist cape, you might want to be ready to complete some content. I'm just saying, but
Right. Although it is, we'll see what they actually add, but it is going to
Right.
be a weird requirement for normal comp cape because it is a mini game and it seems like it should be just trim.
has it been confirmed that it's actually for the regular completionist cape, or
I haven't seen any confirmation for it, and it is possible that the JMod who was talking in the Runecast thing had no idea what they were talking about. I mean, they said graves appeared in the wilderness and stuff,
Do you
Quite
know?
so
likely.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
in the first
It does
Runecast
seem
they
like that
said that
sometimes.
the armored zombies were in the wild too. They're like, yeah, armored zombies, you got to walk into the wild to get to them. It's like,
Yeah.
no, you updated that about a year ago or more. Yeah. With Jags, most of their mods are not even content, so they just
I swear they don't even try though. Like in the
They're not
videos
players,
with
they're just
the
working.
showing the combat stuff, hitting the Sarah boss with a staff of light, full arrows, and a DFS. It's like I think they're playing on that now.
yeah,
I
that's
don't know what they're
Well, staff
that's
light
just
might
kind
not
of a
be a bad
troll now, I
idea.
think.
doing. Yeah.
I mean, you could just if you.
Who knows?
What, Schyler? What you say?
Never mind.
Oh,
Yeah,
You
people
could
used
just
to do
staff of
that.
light spec and then pray mage,
Yeah.
but then you wouldn't hit her as often, and then
wow.
yeah, less swapping.
So I don't know what
Anyways,
else. I don't even know what else we could talk about with the combat update. There's not much else other than the specials and the life point boosts, the new roles and stuff like that. You can. Oh, they also said you can now train only defense with magic, or you can train magic by itself, or both. That's
Mhm.
kind of interesting. You can
It's
make
about time, yeah.
you can actually now make a legitimate
oh,
account that
no, I didn't
only
know
uses
that.
magic instead of having to use like quests and melee to train your defense efficiently. You can now use magic to do that. So that's really cool, actually.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
I'm hoping that they make it to where when you're fighting monsters, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You're still gonna do about the same damage as long as as long as the monster's not like, as long as it's not like monster's melee and you have to use mage on it. If they make it to where like, for example, like Slayer monsters, you can just go out on your Slayer task and use magic and not have to worry about not doing as much damage as you would if you were using like melee or something. Also, it depends. Like I said, it depends on the type of monster you're fighting, like a melee, mage, or ranged opponent. But yeah, I'm a big Slayer, so that's like my favorite thing to do. So I hope this does make Slayer more interesting because I still have like 3 months of grinding ahead of me with that.
I'm quite interested
Yeah.
about the jump effect in Castle Wars.
The jump effect.
Did you see like the escape thing with like when it was showing the ranger?
Yeah, you
They had
can
some like
like hop
escape thing
around.
where he like jumped across the map. If they have that in Castle Wars, it's going to be a little bit ridiculous.
Oh yeah, the like teleport. It's not like a teleport, but it's just like a quick sprint to the other side. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that with a lot of them, actually. You could do that with magic too, I saw, but it's more of like a teleporting effect.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they're going to have that for like everything, like a dash with melee, and you just like dash up, hit them, or with the range. I mean, there's that evade. You can use that to your advantage at bosses and stuff, like Sarah, for example. You can just dreadnip her, or bind her, even. Just tell you away.
Well, I just want to get my elven
That's-
cloak so I can just hide in the woods.
Wow.
Nobody can see me
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
while I'm running through.
that's nerdy.
Lord of the Rings reference. No way, Lord of the Rings is great. Can't wait for The Hobbit to come out. But
Is
anyways,
Rogie still there?
Yep.
Do you have anything to add on the combat
that's
rework before
okay.
we
I wasn't sure.
try to wrap it up?
Not really. It looks quite interesting though. I'm just hoping that they're gonna make combat more skill based. I heard that they're gonna give you an option between like to use the old or the new system, which I don't really think they should do. I think they should just change it completely. But I don't know really. I'm hoping it's gonna be good. I have absolute faith in the developer of it. I think it's Mod Wraith and Mod Crisel who's developed like the main developers of it.
Yeah.
And Crisel is usually does high level content. He did things like Nex and completion escapes and temple trekking, dungeoneering, a bunch of other things. He's a really good content developer. So I have faith in him that it's going to be good. So yeah.
Well, I think having the option to switch back and forth would be good, just to have the option. But I mean, honestly, I think it's going to be not going to be able to keep up
You
with
have
the
to,
new
probably
update.
at some point you probably have to switch. Otherwise you won't be able to do certain things.
I think that what they said is you can attack normally like you would have before, just walk up and attack something, but you'd get better EXP if you just use the combos and stuff like that. So there's really no point in not using it sometimes, at least. But
Right.
yeah. One more thing about the combat rework. They briefly talked about summoning. I'm really interested to see what they do with summoning, because there's a lot of potential there for Beast of Burdens and Healing Familiars and stuff like that, where they can either become really overpowered or really underpowered. Like, just imagine a Steel Titan with
Yeah.
combat.
That's what I was
Completely
thinking
ignores,
of, just
like,
like
the new
karate chopping some
combat,
dude in the
the way
face.
it works, and just kill someone. I don't know. But do you guys have any opinions on the summoning or any ideas?
I
Maybe?
don't know, I haven't really said anything, so.
I can't even think of what they'll do with summoning.
I was just saying they haven't really
I heard
given
nothing
us
you
much
said, Sean. Go
information,
ahead.
so I don't really know what to think.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not that
I just hope
creative.
they don't nerf things like bunyips, because I like my bunyip for thieving and stuff like that. If anything, they'll probably make it like
Yeah.
ridiculously overpowered. You have like a super bunyip, and it's like 3 feet. Like right now, it's like 3 feet tall, and it just like grows like 50 feet tall, and it's just like following you around, just healing you, like throwing sharks at you and stuff. I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
oh wow.
That reminds me
yeah.
of when they updated it to where familiars could run. It looks so funny when a unicorn's just
Okay,
running
so
behind
does
you.
anything?
I love
Does
it.
anybody have anything to add before we end? Because it is getting kind of long here.
Nope.
I don't think so.
Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. It's been the third installment to the community podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. Go subscribe to everybody and like this video and subscribe to me if you want more. Say bye, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay.
See ya.